Hi, this is another review that I'm starting off with some stuff to look into with certain games that I felt like need a bit more attention to detail to. This is Ray, second in Duel, I believe, right now. So just like going through like things, cherry picks, moments, like things that I see from my perspective that can be explained, furthered, mistakes I make, all that sort of stuff. So we'll get straight into it. I thought I could skip to the start right there. So start, not bad, get this, get that, and then here I realize like he gets a mega spawn, so I'm like, well, he gets red here, so I know that, and I have to play into what's around the map, and I'm thinking about figuring out where he really is. I still felt like he was over by that side, which I was right about. I think, yeah, I gave up rail, which was pretty bad, but I had a really great return there, and it allowed me to, like, just buy time for my yellow there, and allowed me to take an early position. Did good damage there as well. And now I can fall for this one, and I'm at a 200-200 stack. Knowing this, I like to assert more space around the map. And that was pretty good. Like, overall, now I'm the one in the lead. Realistically, I could be the one, like, charging his spaces, pretty much. Like, since he went to YA, I could have caught him there before the red was coming up, leaving the red up, but that also involves a risk. It also involves, like, a couple of things. I could have dropped and maybe like looked for a rail angle, but it takes like a huge risk and I delay myself of going anywhere for the mega or whatnot. But it shouldn't be that bad because mega was like 15 seconds next, so you have to think about those things. And since I thought he was hurt him up, I decided the RJ to be a bit like faster to see if I can catch him out. And then here I know he's just gonna play the other YA, which I didn't grab, which I really should have previously, but it's fine. And then I think here is just a miscalculation of a route here because I take a rail there. And then that rocket too. And basically I can't keep holding this pressure. He's pretty much like going in way too fast for me to handle. And it's like, I'm just not expected out of this exchange, and realistically, like, I should have just, after this rocket here, like, after he shoots here, I just start going through the telly, because I know this fight is no longer on my standards, and he has the advantage here, especially, like, he's evening the stacks and whatnot, so, like, being in this room is, like, not the... And that's why I'm like trying to understand. So like, where is his motives? Like, where is he trying to? What does he take from this? Doing all of this? Like, does he want the drop? Does he want what position here? Does he like realistically want? And he took a really fast approach to it, which I wasn't expecting. Which if I was like maybe a bit back early, it would have caught him. And then that defense really didn't work out for me there, too. Like, it was just... I mean, to explain it, and even almost dying there. Like, the whole exchange just didn't have any, alleviations of any damage throughout the whole exchange. Like, even, like, these rockets up here, this LG... I think even, like, looking for maybe a rail from below, like, costed a fundamental, because I think my game plan here was just, like, sit by the bottom here and, like, having LG and, like, playing a bit, around this side just to, like, because I know he's going to be on this right side. Realistically, because I lose position here, I should have been top first, which is the biggest, like, mistake out of it all. Like, it was just, these are all, like, routing errors realistically where I should have... I don't even understand, like, maybe I'm thinking I can catch him by the rail. Maybe I can think of, like, just routing simply to the shards, because that's probably what I was originally going for anyway. But it's so, like, the routing is impatient, and it costs me kind of, like, heavily. Because, like, all this happens way too fast for me to, like, even prepare. Like, you can kind of tell even, like, as he's dropping, I'm not even ready for it. And then I have to switch gears into understanding, like, now we're at a very fast-paced fight. And there I tried to make something out of that exchange work when it was, like, he already had the exchange way better than I did. So... And then here again, another misroute. Like, I do a bit of damage, but it doesn't, like, opt for anything. I'm not able to, like, use anything from it. It's good that I decide to reroute and, like, play it correctly to avoid him. And I'm gonna get 2 stacks here. But he does good catch here. That was a... I don't even... Like, why does he hit that? Where does that go? Oh, it's the top of the doorway. Are you shitting me? So dumb, dude. Yeah, and I know I can't go for that, and I know I can't go for anything here. And I really, like, if you really watch this, too, like, I'm just, like, out of options. So, realistically, like, I just... need to still play that top zone, but the issue there is, like, hoping that he, because he can rocket jump here. I mean, he has no reason not to rocket jump and then play that window as well, but it's, like, there's so many, like, variables that it's, like, that's not letting me play any of my spaces and giving me, like, no options to, like, kind of go to, is sort of just, like, because it is the damage that is not being traded at all from me, leaves me for no actual positional option rather than to just constantly run away from him, which I should be really opting for, at least in this moment, because there's nothing I can do that can overstack or overbear the control right now, especially, like, with everything that's happened. Like, this is full control for him. And even this, like, I understand why I'm trying to create that instance, but it doesn't relay or do anything there. I must have just played frustrated tonight, I don't know. So, observing that I know that he just took the damage and chase on me, I'm seeing what areas can I play early for. And I think I was just checking the timings there, so because I knew it was like 5 and 9 on the previous timings, I was like, okay, let's see which timing did he grab there. And that was a good exchange there. I could have dropped... maybe go for the red, but that's playing a bit too risky. I actually like being on the low ground here in this instance, but this almost works. Another exchange, like, where I think he's gotten used to that. I think he grew attested to, like, knowing that I'll do something like that, and then he'll always rush that way. But this gave me an interesting moment, because he actually has this angle trapped, because I can't drop here and I can't go through the window area, so I have to risk the shot here, which is why I'm outweighting it here, and I don't really want to take any damage. And so that I hear he drops. I know he took the yellow. I did not expect that position. Like, I just thought he was still by the yellow a bit more. And then I know Mega's coming up. Yeah. And then there he is again, standing still and just leaving a red up. It's like I know you're looking for the spawn. I know you're playing center. So, like, playing it faster, or like spawning faster there doesn't force the spawn that he's covering, which he should already know. But he's playing so confident into control that he just knows that even if I spawn and take these 2 items, I'm still not gonna make a dent into his control. Which is really, really, like, frustrating to play against. And then this was an interesting take. I was, like, trying to see if I can sneak my way into getting a couple weapons and then coming back. And then this is the push he's wanted me to do. Surprisingly, he just dies. Like, I should have been the one to die there, to be fair. And then I stayed for an exchange that I knew was certain death, just because I knew I would do damage on his Mega. And then here he played this really well. I remember this. I expected like just something out of him being in that position, but he played like the perfect fucking card to what I was doing, and it just like didn't work out at all. Because I just expected something so astronomically simple or different from him that he just didn't do, and it cost me like more frags and control. And now I'm trying to play my life there. Like literally just any damage will suffice. I really have been avoiding that area a lot. I think it's just him dropping there so many times. Like I just hear, I think that it's been like 3 times this game he drops to rockets there. It's like, there's nothing realistically I should be doing otherwise. Maybe like holding the angle earlier, like even RJing up and then holding a rail angle so he doesn't expect it, maybe. Like, there's different sound cues I can like play into like surprising him and setting up early for, but like they play into like, oh, now I'm at a lower stack, oh, now I'm like my position can be bad if I trade damage, because if I were to like play up top from the Mega and like watched him through the telly, normally I just don't hit that rail. Like normally I just cannot have the execution part to just always hit that exit rail. And I just usually, and this is why, to explain to Ray, why it's usually I don't create these aggression moments. It's because aggression is created off of execution, and if there's no replicated execution that I'm finding against you, then there's no point in creating the same exchanges or the same exchanges over the majors. So it's like I mean, I'm creating those instances on Mega a lot against him, or you if I'm talking to Ray. And the way that I understand it through Red is that you have to have LG out, but it creates a like 50-50 like nasty fight just because you're in LG range and you're also like prone to being really badly rocketed out of the area and then dropping down. It's just I can risk that if that's his whole narrative. Like why don't you just risk Red like in this exchange, or even cover like another route for me? The thing is, it's like, okay, I can go up this jump pad, I can start spamming it out, and I can have a engagement of damage where it leads into like equalizing stacks, because I can play that and then I can re-rotate. But the issue is that there's issues with placement, with position, and damage not taken. So it's like, I mean, sure, I could play that position, which I honestly I think may have been the only thing that could have helped in this situation. Like looking back, it's like that probably was the play to make, just because you're already at this monstrous stack. It's like, and here I'm trying to offset doing that same thing, like where I find like a random rocket exchange. But now I'm just taking a 50-50 on an item here doing the damage. It wasn't too bad. I'm also gonna get this 25. I should have gotten railed there. And I just didn't expect this. Like, just this early, like position chase on me. Like, I just didn't expect the speed it came at me, I guess. And then you're doing this to me, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try to offset and see like what I can do when you're doing that. And this is kind of safe. Like, I almost had the opportunity to get out. Let me see what I could have done. So like, oh, jump to the right. Yeah, jump to the right's way better here. Yeah, because then you have to chase through that corridor. So I can pretty much tell, like, not much to do off of this, just creating, like, small little traps, and I know you're just, like, not controlling this red. I don't even understand why I'm staying here. I guess I'm really just trying to figure out, like, where the fuck are you? Because it's just, there's so much null time, and there's nothing happening. And then, bam, that's where you are. Like, the most expected and predictable spot. It's always like what tends to be when I'm playing Ray is like he'll just disappear for long periods of time, and then he'll pop up in the most like standard spot or standard like position, and it's like, why did you show up this like right here? It's like I'm in the position that could have caught you, and you're the one making the first instance. It's just there's so much wrong with that, and such fine details of like why I'm there early, because we talked about this before, to being in a position early and to take that whole philosophy gets twisted on its head when I'm not the first to exchange the damage, and I'm not the first one to catch your route. So it's like I have to expect this push. I have to expect these like moments that you're watching me with damage. Like you're creating instances. I have to know this through dissective trial and error usually. And that's like what I'm trying to understand usually. Because, like, at that point, I'm full 100, 200, and I just could not even close the distance, even though I'm in the room early, and because I looked away, it's like, dude, like, I know you're just doing that because you heard the sound cue, and I'm not looking in that position anymore. If I waited there like Jewel Bars and sat there watching it, he, like, would just take a rail, and I'd run off. It's like, if I have to understand that perspective and play that way to create like equal instances, then I think that's the only answer I have to like making these damage exchanges even, because it's like if I set the rail angle first, Ray's just gonna run into it, and you know, and that's gonna be the hard thing, because I know myself well enough to know I'm just gonna miss that exchange. And it's kind of like in this situation too. It's like I knew I'm in the first position early. I hit the first rocket, and now it's mine. You know, it's like I don't know. It's just really warped. And I don't even get the second rail here. I dropped knowing he still had the rail, and he had a pretty decent position. That was a good rail too. Just like good defense. Yeah, that was a clean catch. Like, this was so unexpected to me. Like, how do you get that there that fast. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I wasn't expecting anything here at all. I was like, why is he already here? And you're already doing like more damage than I can on that position, and you had the rail after the fact. It's just like the whole sequences of all of these exchanges are just so dumb. Like always. That's why like I called it Mickey Mouse fights that one night, because that's how it feels. It feels like I'm getting 501 odds playing you. And also I'm like, I know there's nothing you can do here. I'm surprised you missed that many rails too. And the game's already over, but yeah, and then bad aggression. Yeah. I mean, even to talk about it, like, it's like I need to rocket jump on the left side, but I already know going at him directly is going to be unexpected for him. It's going to have a harder time to hit shots, and then here I need to be on the right more. You know, it's like I already know what I need to do, but it's like you're giving me a constraint of knowing that you've been sitting at that position after the fact I go back on red. And then it's like I'm trying to hit the rail angle, and then I'm trying to do a different thing. It's like just out of whack. Out of whack how I need to approach. Yeah, most of it's just route there. And then, like, damage, too. It's like, look at the damage difference. Like, you can see no LG, no hit scan. It's like, that's been the main difference. I don't really understand, like, how I haven't really created instances with LG, like, confidently enough. It's really worrying that I'm taking this approach, because it's like, I think the one thing is, like, I know that my rail is good at moments, but for me to be confident with it, it has to hit as much as my rockets. And as you can see with the rockets, I'm hitting 40 out of 100, which is, like, pretty decently close to how Ray is. Yeah, see, we're, like, both similar percentages. He's just has more damage and the stack to build it up. LG, I mean, 600 isn't like something crazy, but it's more damage than my rail combined, which is really bad too. Like, my rail should be, to work out anything, like, be doubled his, because it's like I need to hit like 3,000 damage with rail, because it's like it has to be rocket rail exchanges and the LG to clean up, which is why the LG is concerning with the percent, just because the LG doesn't like I just know pushing into areas with LG with my experience has always been like really poor, and it for some reason, and I've been told to just work on it, but it's like it doesn't change. It just doesn't change. It has to change with like someone who's more aggressive than Ray, because Ray is just like playing it ABC traditionally onto these items, when it's like Ballin and Zorak, it's I'm getting rushed at. You have to hit the shots or it's nothing. And that's something I'm trying to explain, that this playstyle like is just countering me completely more than Ballin and Ray do, because when it's Ballin and Ray, it's like it's hitting the exchanges while giving like moments and positions faster than them. That's what it takes to beat them. It's hitting either even exchanges or more exchanges, and then taking the positions out from them, because like what Ray had said last night, that Zorak is the complete opposite. Well, that's the same effect if he's down, because he does that even in other games. So it's like, what difference are you making from playstyles? Because it's not the same. You're not creating and giving me, like, I don't know. I'm really frustrated from tonight, so I'm probably gonna cut that out, but yeah.